Hello, Twitch and or YouTube. Welcome to my stream. Thanks for hopping on today. I'm Josh Goldberg. I'm a full-time independent open source maintainer in the TypeScript ecosystem. I work on projects such as typescript-eslint, the tooling that lets you run standard JavaScript tools such as ESLint and Prettier on TypeScript code. That's my spiel. It's my regular stream, Thursday, January 4th. And I'm excited and nervous to get into the TypeScript ESLint backlog because it's gotten a little big. I haven't looked at it for the last few days. Oh boy, a failure on main. That's nice. So this will be fun. But feel free to ask any questions, chat, talk about whatever you want. For some reason, maybe this is an extension I have or something. The blue dot's not showing up. Okay, it must be that one. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. So yeah, I guess I'll what I want to do is I want to review code. Normally I go through issues and well, it'd be nice to look at some pull requests. Got a nice slew of them. I'm gonna minus label dependencies, minus is draft to get up a nice queue. Actually also exclude minus author Joshua K. Goldberg because I don't need to look at my own. Leaves down to 28. Let's see. You haven't been here in a while. Hello. How do I say this? Abkiobanu? Welcome. Happy New Year indeed. Oh right, Andre. There it is. I just forwarded over to your Twitter. That's I recognize your face. Hello. How are things going on your end? Things are good on mine. Also minus label awaiting response to get rid of the ones that are sheepy ABC. That rings a bell. Great. Bit out of order. Do you owe me an email? Oh, great. Yay. Thanks for letting me know. Excuse me. Great. So this is the query I'm using. Great. Loading. All right. So the oldest PR, let's get into it. Oh boy, this old joy. Throwing up invalid update expressions, I think. Oh, we were just waiting on CI filing. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll post this on social. Double hundred all the way. First merging an old tricky PR around update expressions and parsing. Yeah, so this is, I vaguely remember this, so I don't need, but I regularly remember this. However, I also see at the very end of it, Brad said just need to get CI passing, we can merge, and then test failure was coming from something else, an issue or a merged PR. Okay, but we see that Josh, he's another person on the team for TypeScript ESLint, merge in main, and it's passing except for, I don't know why netlify is always, half the time it's pending forever. I don't know. So I'll just merge this, but I also always post on social media that I do these things. And I know Josh is on Twitter, I think. I can never remember. There we go. And I know Fisker was interested in this. Yeah. So what's this PR? What's happening here? Let me just pin it to the chat real quick. So we have an issue filed by Fisker, who's on the Prettier team. Sasuke, hello, welcome, and Toby. So many friends. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so I'm just looking at it's the pinned issue in the chat. Just looking at this PR, the backing issue rather for 7202, which is a request that these expressions should all be invalid. Because fun fact, these are invalid. If you pop open like a terminal, DevTools, whatever, and let's say 1++, that's not valid. But we were parsing it okay. Now, fun fact, TypeScript considers these to be semantic errors, meaning TypeScript website. Oops. Nope. Where it's not a parser error, it's a semantic error, which is a different type of error. It's like a later stage, more closer to the type system error. But ESPre, which is like a ESLint parser, or parser that ESLint more orients towards. I can never remember which parsers do what or by or for whom, marked it as a syntax error. So there was some discussion. Joshina threw up a PR. There was discussion on the PR, yada, yada, yada. TLDR, actually too long, not reading now. It got approved. So I'm just merging it. Do Learning, welcome. Thanks for coming on board. By the way, I realize that typescript-eslint sometimes goes into bizarre shenanigans that most devs don't touch. It's not that it's complicated or impossible to understand. It's just not everyone does every area. So if you're new to these types of things like parsing and ASTs, what the heck's an AST? No worries. I've got a blog post for you. Post it in the chat. But great. I'm glad to have this old PR merged. It's been like over half a year, I think. What was it? July, August, September, October, November, December, January. It's been almost 6 months. So glad to get this merged. Yay. All right. Next up, another one from Josh, my fellow Joshua. Feat ESLint plugin, no var requires, no require imports, allow option. What's going on here? Next up is another one from my fellow Josh. Oh yeah, is Josh on Blue Sky? I forgot to check. Adding an allow option to, what is it? No var requires and no require imports. Feature adding. Yep. So these are two rules in TypeScript ESLint that block you or attempt to block you from oops. Whoa, that typing position got weird. Block you from doing some funky thing where you import from a JS or JSON, like a not TypeScript thing. So no var requires is don't use var. What a weird name for the rule. Don't use require, like parentheses, like the common JS style require, because in TypeScript code, you typically write import and export, the ESM style. However, TypeScript recognizes ESM things, which means if you try to import from your package JSON, it ends up being like a change to your root directory, because TypeScript realizes, oh wait, you have source files outside of your source directory, so it changes things. So what a lot of people do is require, like the ESM require parentheses. However, sometimes people do want it. Same with import whatever equals. This is a TypeScript syntax that just so happens to use the same import keyword. It's like import whatever equals retire versus var whatever equals retire. Oh, I just connected in my head. Var probably stands for variable, not the specific var keyword, one of the several ways to make a variable. Okay. Well, that's nice. Anyway, so sometimes people want to be able to specifically do like a package JSON or something like that. So we talked about it a little bit in 7710, the PR. And we came to the idea of not just any allow package JSON. Or rather, here's what happened. Josh first switched from allow package JSON to generally... Wait, no. Josh switched from allow package JSON to allow JSON? No, The issue asked for allow JSON, but Josh narrowed it to allow package JSON. But then we discussed how other places sometimes want like import from Turbo JSON, project JSON, whatever. So we didn't discuss a bit. We do have a kind of a standardized format, such as what the prefer read-only parameter types rule uses, which allows you to define like from a file, from a lib, from a package. But that was deemed a little overweight or oversized for this, rather. Like it's a lot. So we just went for like oh boy, where is the I think a regular expression. Yeah, it's just a plain array of regular expressions. So you can do like any number of dots and slashes before a package JSON or whatnot. Wow, that was a long refresher. It's been a while since I looked at any of these in depth. By the way, y'all, feel free to ask questions. Please do let me know if what I'm saying doesn't make sense or if there's anything that could be clarified. So I don't believe I actually had any requests for changes. Ah, okay. So right, there was one thing I suggested with this, which is supporting template literals. Right. I remember this now. So let's look at this file. No var requires TS. Line 50. So right now, whenever the rule sees a call expression to require, so you're calling something called require like a function, callee.name equals require. We take a look, is the first argument a literal of type string, and is the import path allowed? Then we return. So what I'm saying in this comment here is, wait a second. What if it's a template literal, like require something JSON. This is super uncommon for people, like people don't generally do this, but it's technically possible. So I think it's fine to merge this as is, and then we'll just file it as a follow-up bug. So I'm going to do that. So merge, and let's file. Oh boy, that's, dang it, that's my email. Hopefully nothing secret there. I have so many freaking things I need to get to. New issue. So just found out support template literal strings or allow. Toby, did you know you're on a 3-stream streak? I just got a little notification. That's congrats, thank you. I've never seen that. I don't know if that's a new feature or if just no one watches my streams that regularly, but cool, thanks. Do you think we can make out time to work on one of those issues in typescript-eslint tomorrow? Want to learn by doing? Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's talk about it. What do you want to get out of it? Like, do you want to like? Are you asking because you want to learn linting things or like open source maintenance, some combination? My specific approach is those. What's up? In the meantime, I'm gonna playground link for no var requires. Okay, this is actually gonna have to be. So we actually have a canary playground or like the nightly whatever deploy releases. So we'll need to wait for a canary deploy. It'll take a little bit for the package to publish. But var package data equals require package JSON, where you allow no var requires. What's the format look like? Cool, yeah. Maybe we could look at how How so yeah, I should note actually, Toby and I, let me get the schedule up. Toby and I are going on a stream tomorrow, a little bit earlier in my day. Just heard myself. And talking about Million.js and its repo and TypeScript and stuff. So yeah, maybe we could look at how that stuff is set up, how your linting is done, see if there are any new plugins we can enable. Love that. So just going through the examples. So if we look at allow, and then so this is just any .json file and then end of string. This should be allowed because the rule doesn't look at template literals inside or call expressions. It still gets the complaint, I think. I should actually verify what I'm saying is true. So I'm gonna open up in VS Code. Oh, I previously installed, that's great. Git pull upstream main, git push to my fork yarn, and then yarn starts. So this should start the playground soon. And actually, I was just kind of being lazy before, but I can get my local playground URL and then copy and paste that into the issue template. So yeah, what I'm doing now is I want to get a playground showing just to myself and for the issue that, yes, what I'm saying is right. It does, in fact, ignore the template literal strings or still complain on template literals. And we have that lovely large output. Come on, localhost. There we go. Oh yeah, here's a nice little shortcut. If you go to one of our options here, or rules docs, and go to the options, they all generally have an open and playground link. So, required package JSON, and if we go to error, wait a second. This doesn't have the allow option in it. That's a docs bug. We'll have to. I think we have an issue somewhere about generally consolidating how these are set up. Yeah. So anyway, allow. What did my issue say? Let's just paste that in there. Oh boy, where did I mess up? What is happening? Nova requires is an error. The first one, and then the second one is an object with allow. Aha. Let's look at the code. And it's complaining that we don't know what to require is. That's fine, whatever. Anyway, now if we switch it to a template literal string, require statement, not part of import statement. Yep. There we go. Alrighty. So that's unfortunate. And I can get the playground URL and replace localhost 3000 with typescript-eslint.io. Note that the production site won't have the right playground allow option in the playground until the next release. Compiling this as a fast follow from link to comments. Cool. Filed. Yeah, I wanted to get the PR merge before we needed, I think, to fix this because template literals and require calls are pretty rare. All right. And per the usual, filed a quick follow-up issue for an edge case bug. Don't expect it to be hit often, but it's nice to track. I don't like how Blue Sky gives you this angry error. Please wait for your link card to finish uploading. Just, if I want to reply and it's loading, just wait till it finishes loading and then reply with it. Don't bother me about it. Okay, now the link card isn't loading. Great. Doop-de-doo. Okie dokie. Moving on in the queue. We got chore update contributors. Sent on November. Ooh, we should probably look into this. We have a private automation that updates the list of contributors, which is on the contributors.md file. I don't know why so many are removed. That's weird. I don't know why it's complaining about lint failures. This must be an old branch. Thanks for the PR at bot. This is like that Obama giving Obama a medal meme. Right, what is this complaining about? It last force pushed an update 4 days ago. It's complaining about unit tests. Oh, I know we have a known flake on main with unit tests. This also doesn't change unit tests. There's a build failure in main. That's lovely. Yeah, so unit tests around the around packages eslint plugin are unrelated to this contributors.md change. Yeah, this is fine. I'll just post here. Quick merge of an automated contributors.md file update. Ooh. I hate that .md is a domain extension. That's ridiculous. It should not be. So confusing. Oh, butts. Nope, I forgot to include the thing. I love the delete and redraft feature. I use it so often, unfortunately. Is anyone else doing any fun open source stuff? What are y'all working on? What's up? Okay. And now we're down to 15 open pull requests. I've been here almost 25 minutes. Life is good. Prefer, promise, reject errors, add rule. From Avred, who's been contributing a good bunch lately. Also style shit. All right. Thanks, Toby. I'm a weird, sad little man, but I'm glad that some aspects of me are seen as positive through the lens of the internet. I do appreciate it. And I think you're doing a lot of good work. Like you're very active. You're diving into open source, making an impact. That's awesome. Yay. So what's happening with this 8011 thing in the chat? Ooh. Trying to use VMs to compile and execute TS code in the TypeHero repo, as well as various versions of it. That's so cool. Do you have a link for that? I'd love to learn more. Right. Oh, I remember this now. Yeah, so there's an ESLint rule. Prefer, promise, reject errors. Jesus. Respect my color mode. So if similar to how it's generally good practice to always throw Discord. I don't like how a lot of projects have moved a lot of discussions to Discord. It's not discoverable. There's a reason why we have GitHub issues. Like, they are discoverable. And I get Discord's easier to talk in, but I wish people would be better, like more consistent in taking summaries of conversations from Discord onto GitHub where I can find it. But, that's my personal preference. I might be wrong here. Oh, yay. Um, yeah, so you want to throw an error with, or if you want to throw something, you generally want to throw an instance of an error of the error class built in or a subclass of it. Similar, if you promise reject, it's a good idea to use an error. Errors come with stacks. It's kind of the standard. You can do non-errors, but it's weird too. Oh, always shout out to Docs teams, unsung heroes. So yeah, the problem is the base rule, which I was just reading up on real quick, says that it can't use type information because it's a base rule. It's just an ESLint. Due to the limits of static analysis, a little inaccurate. It's your static analysis ESLint, but this is fine. This is me nitpicking. But we have type info. So detach head requested back in September that we add in an extension to the prefer promise reject errors rule that does know whether something is, an error. And then Avred sent a PR on the 1st of December. So that's nice. Let's see here. What I requested changes. Let's see. There's one open thread. Thanks. Okay, so who removed the one? Is the one approval label still there? All right. Yeah. So what I'm reading here is no blocking requests other than a knit. Just some touch-up suggestions. Feel free to phone fix or do them, and then we can merge. Or if you don't have time, I'll take another look soon. Cheers. Right. So they touched this up a bunch, and now they have build failures, which I'm guessing are from known existing ones on main. Yes, switch exhaustiveness check. I'm gonna have to look into that. Let me do that now, actually, before I forget. Yeah, let me just look at the commits. Switch exhaust. Right. So I caused this issue. Oh, yeah. How did this cause fail? Here's what happened. I remember this now. So this is a fun little merge shenanigan. We don't enforce that PRs have passing builds and are up to date on merge. We just generally assume it'll all work out. So I merged a PR that enforced that every rule option should have a corresponding heading. And then also merged that same week, without, I guess, merging from main, a feature add to a PR, or to a lint rule that added a rule option that I guess doesn't have a heading. So this is a repo maintenance issue. Repo failures on main from missing an option heading. This is a fun little combination of merging two PRs into main. So let's see, 8015 enforces all rule options have a heading in their docs file, and then 7539, which was sent before 8015, as you can tell by the number, 7539 added, was merged, added a rule option without a heading. It was authored before that requirement. So there's no fault here. 7539 is a perfectly good PR. It's just I merged something late, or I wrote something later on that would cause its do failure. Demian, hello. How's it going? Wave. My throat's been acting up today. I don't know what that is. I don't like it. Boop. Repo maintenance. So this is just like a cleanup chore. I don't know what the label is. Yeah, just repo maintenance. I'm good. I'm trying to get through the typescript-eslint PR backlog and filing issues as I go along for things that I broke. So before I get to this other PR that I'd started, I'm just going to quickly fix this because it's in the way. So switch exhaustiveness check TS. Allow default case for exhaustive switch. Yeah, it's you know what? I have a vague memory of someone mentioning this. Let's see. Packages, ESLint plugin, docs rules, start at MD. I think the issue is, yeah, we don't normally put quotes inside. This one does. So I'm just going to fix that. If I do cd packages, ESLint plugin, yarn jest docs, it should pass. Took a little while, but okay. Yep. All right. Failed if I undid the fix. Docs touch up. Docs switch exhaustiveness check. Option heading. Oops, I wanted a dash in there. Chore fix. Remove unnecessary quotes from heading. It's just a chore. I keep forgetting to set that. Procrastinating. I need to reset my PGP privacy whatever key for public things. Oh my God! Thank you, Avrid. Avrid, are you here? Wait. Oh, yeah. No, I almost just did a bad thing. Oh, geez. Oof. Phew. All right. Yeah, no, this is... Never send a PR if someone's already sent one that you have previously signed off on. Oh my God. Okay, I approved it. I never merged it. Whoops. Whoops. Lol. All right. So yeah, it's that other known failure. We have issues with our experimental ESLint plugin stuff, but like that's fine. Ooh, there's a lint complaint. What's lint complaining about? Oh yeah, TS nodes has disabled. Oh, they sent this last week. What? Okay, didn't have a linked issue. All right, there we go. Cool. So there we go. But now I should also fix this, which I think I'd actually seen earlier in this stream. Let me just Loige? Hello. How are you doing? How do you say that? Loiga? Trying to whatever it is. I'm good. I'm going through the typescript-eslint PR backlog. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on. Oop. I merged two PRs that conflicted and caused a main branch build failure. Loigi. Derek. Okay. Filed an issue. Where does that name come from? Just curious. And then also, yeah, I try to use Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Twitter interchangeably. Like, or not interchangeably, equally. If I post on one, I'll try to post on all the others. It gets tough, though. Ooh, is that French? Yeah, it gets tough because, like, not everyone's on every platform. Some people are only on one. It's very irksome. And was fixed last week, and I approved the PR without merging. Great. French pronunciation always, well, is sometimes nifty, sometimes cool. I was in a little French town over the summer for a wedding, a little place called Joigny, Joigny. Oh man, internet nicknames sticking with you. That's relatable. All right, so just checking if there's a recent complaint about this that okay, yeah. Avra did mention this one. Lint fails in main branch after updating TypeScript to 5.3.3. Oh, looks like they actually sent PRs. Okay, I should look at this. No duplicate type constituents is disabled, never reported. All right, so yeah, let's accept this. Oh yeah, I forgot to check if Offered. Oops. Offered, are you on the Twitters? So, yes, plain black circle. That looks another build failure. Main from updating TypeScript. 380 issues. My God. For reference, TypeScript has over 5,000, almost 6,000. VS Code has how many? Is it more than TypeScript? Over 7,000. How much does Docusaurus have? I'm curious now. How much do Docusaurus and React? Oh, Docusaurus only has 250. Good for them. React is over that. Yeah, we it's all to scale. Sometimes 380 is a lot, or feels like a lot. Sometimes like, well, thank God it's not thousands. We don't use any GitHub Actions to triage issues. We use GitHub Actions a little bit to post in things sometimes. Like on PRs, we'll have a little thing that comes up and says, "Hey, we're a volunteer project or whatnot." This little fella, typescript-eslint, mini typescript-eslint. But yeah, I've yet to see an action that does a good job or good enough to satisfy what I prefer, what I like in triaging automatically. Like AI is nowhere near ready. Someone tried to post an offer to use a chatbot for the Discord help channel that we have, and it was ass. It was so bad. It didn't get a single one of the 5 most recent questions people had posted right. Like every answer it gave was deeply flawed. AI hype. So anyway, some lint rules no longer failing. So let's take a look at that. Thanks, Andre, for hanging out. Yeah, hope to see you there tomorrow. Bye. I appreciate when people say that they're coming and going. I try to do that in streams when I'm active. Also, a lot of the times I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk. To hell with this, and I just lurk. But you know what? When I have the energy. So no worries to lurkers out there. I respect and appreciate you regardless. All right, so let's take a look at this. Broken for several weeks. Yeah, so just off the top of my head, I kind of have a suspicion for what's happening here. The rules are complaining about TS assert clause and TS assert entry. Assert clause was added in TypeScript 4.5. So, and we have to support it for folks. Wait, was it assert clause was added in? Or I think, right, this is it used to be you could import assert now you can do import attributes, like import whatever from package JSON, assert type JSON, or asserts type. JS import assertions. Yeah, here we go. You can do like assert type JSON, which is really interesting. But then they renamed it, actually. This was like an experimental thing. So now it's import attributes are the new way to do things. Pardon me as I'm eating. I should post the new issue we're looking at in the chat. Post in pins. Yeah, so TypeScript deprecated the old node type, the assertions, and just set it to as an alias for the new one. So we bumped our TypeScript version and didn't remove no duplicate type constituents, because these are actually different now. I don't know why they were being marked as... Oh, it must have been that they were both pointing to an empty interface, which is considered the same. Not sure. Anyway, yeah, I think this is the right fix. Let me just make sure that there's not like another PR doing the same thing. Oh, Ramio's here. Okay, yeah. So this is the only one doing it. I see the unpinned primary node version was also referenced here, but wait a second. It opened 10 minutes ago. 8188. 8167 was 10. That was 2 days ago. Okay. Yeah, the nodes were previously being considered duplicate type constituents, I'm guessing because they pointed to the same or similar empty shape. But now their TypeScript updated their types and they're not. So yeah, TypeScript had to do a thing where where's the closed issue? Yeah, so TypeScript actually changed how these old things referenced each other. Oh, right. Because they used to be type aliases, but then TypeScript changed them to interfaces so they can be merged. Right. So if you want to go deeper into that, I linked the issue on TypeScript. Brad, one of the other maintainers, filed. But basically, TypeScript defined them as aliases before, which meant they literally were the same thing as the other part of the union. Then they changed them to interfaces in this PR so that we can merge with them, which is very nice. All right. Oh, forgot to say. Thanks. Yeah, I should wait for the unit test to run, so I'll just approve the PR from Zamiel. I'm trying to remember. A nice little fix PR coming in to remove the unnecessary disables. Good stuff. Making progress. Getting that queue down to fewer things. I do hate waiting for lint or for CI to run. Well, anyway, I'm going to quickly merge because I want builds to be fixed. And also, this just changes some comments. So as long as lint and format pass and a slew of unit tests seem to be passing, I'm sure it's fine. What's the worst that can happen? Okay. Cool. So back to the prefer promise reject errors thing. I'm reposting the chat because it's been a while. Ooh, what an interesting question. What is my favorite kind of API? REST, RPC, GraphQL, etc. I don't know. It's been so long since I've had to do product feature work that oh, a little sore. Pardon me. I joined a gym yesterday. Sweat Fitness over in Philly. So now I'm sore. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I mean, I like working with whatever has a good developer experience in the project I'm working on, which in the past has been GraphQL, and in the past has been not GraphQL for sure. So, I don't know. TRPC is pretty great. I like working with RPC with like a nice wrap around it, but really it depends. What about you? And the rest of the folks here, what do y'all like for APIs? Have we all moved past TRPC already and found something else? Now, back to reviewing feature work. Another read one around finishing up or looking at another offered one around prefer what is this rule called? Prefer promise reject errors. Adding a prefer promise reject errors extension. I remember at Codecademy when I was on the web platform team there. REST, but we were in the process of migrating off of the old, what we called Monolith, which was a large Ruby on Rails with a React front end bolted on app, to a Next.js app, or a set of Next.js apps. And for the Next.js apps, we used GraphQL for our like general API endpoint stuff. Like I had one unified GraphQL endpoint because we had a lot of disparate services of like progress and content and all this. And I really liked that. Yeah, fun fact, Codecademy is on Next.js, React, TypeScript. Cool. Yeah, I always recommend playing around with a bunch of different ones. Like REST and RPC and GraphQL are all unique and cool and different in their own ways. REST has a whole history behind it. So whatever you like the most, you know, like you gotta choose for yourself, find what works well in different scenarios. A lot of like being a experienced dev, blah blah blah, is like knowing what the trade-offs of things are. Why the answer is always it depends. To which we must of course always say it depends on what. All right, so prefer promise reject errors. I remember this now. And was talking about this like 10-20 minutes ago. The review was okay, nothing blocking, but I just left a few requests. What do you think? So I'm gonna see which ones still exist or are gone. Yeah, I had requested touch-ups to. Ugh, I hate how the GitHub mobile view goes so thin, or like the thinner size of the desktop view. Like float that or something. Why is this? Why is this blank here? All right, so last to earliest, I talked about some stuff in the. I should check out the PR. Yeah, what do you think of RPC, Demian? How do you like it so far? Yeah, we had talked about there previously were like some comments delineating different parts of this, but I asked just to inline them because it got hard to read through. This looks great. We generally ask now that all rules have incorrect and correct tabs that show up on the site. So like, I still have my localhost running. Promise, reject. Maybe start the dev server. I think the thing needs to get its act together. So like we'll have incorrect tabs like promise or reject error, and correct ideally with like as close as visual line to line mapping as possible, so users can swap between the two to see the difference. Oh yeah, Toby, my bad. I should have followed you ages ago. I don't know. Slipped my mind. I think when I follow someone on one platform, I've just like checked off the okay, I follow them in my head. I forget that there are 50 million platforms out there. Compiling. Alright, yeah, let's go to previous things. Hide resolved. That's a comment on, that'll be in some other thread. GitHub shows those weirdly. Prefer promise reject errors TS. I was asking about, ooh. Let's restart ESLint server. This is an interesting case. So there are two variables here they split up for naming because I had mentioned that I was having a hard time reading through it. Around line 100 or so. So this is actually a performance thing. This is actually splitting two variables in this way, and then having the if after them is a performance paper cut. I'll post a new thread. Yeah, so when they do it this way, let's go to the current version of the file. Performance. Previously, when it was all in one if statement, the type checking function, functions is promise constructor like, and is promise like wouldn't be called if reject. If the first if the previous logical bits, what is now reject method called, or falsy. Ooh, I haven't seen this one. You tried out Impressed by Metaria. Ooh, great logo there. Enterprise application server for okay. Whenever someone says enterprise, I immediately kind of shut down in my mind, but that's wrong. I know that it's there's a reason. Oh, I like, what a cool website. Easter eggs, butts, mentoring, hello, help me, please. Well, this is not an interactive terminal on my computer. Metaria makes me think of diarrhea. Is that immature? Am I bad? Anyway, cool. Oh, is this JavaScript first? What company can possibly refer to themselves as enterprise scale and be JavaScript first? What do you do? Oh my god, try TSLint. TSLint. I wonder if there's does it just log window request? Oh, it sanitizes the text. I'm trying to type in like special characters. Have fun, Toby. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'm trying. You can't see, but I am trying to type in parentheses. It's not doing. Well, at least they're secure. That's good for enterprising. So now it's a bit more readable at the cost of performance. One step forward, one step back. My intent was to suggest splitting into functions so they can be lazily evaluated. So the logic gets lazily evaluated. If reject method called, or Kali is like promise. Kali object type. Where Kali object type doesn't get created if is only created inside Kali is like promise. That way we don't call to the type checker at all if we don't need. The type checker can be slow sometimes, so this is very good. Yeah, so this will be a request for changes on my end. Actually, it was the problem earlier was readability. The problem now is performance. Readability, not often a blocker. Performance, much more often a blocker when it's an issue. All right. One of these days, I'm gonna write a lint rule. You know what? I'm gonna file an issue for this. This is something one could lint for. The don't use it, don't ask for something before it's needed. Feature. Find or create a lint rule around about not making values before they're needed. I oftentimes find myself leaving reviews on. Actually, wait. I just realized I haven't checked my calendar. I'm good for time. Reviews on things in code that creates values before checking whether they are needed. Rough pseudocode. Const apple equals expensive creates and banana. Yay, I'm so glad you liked it. File issues, let me know how it can be improved. It's definitely early stage. I've been doing a lot of the last couple of weeks, a lot of stuff on like documentation and getting it ready for like more people to use it. So I'm really excited. Really hope that this year it'll be I want to get like a docs website and general templating engine out of it. Very exciting. If apple banana return. Rough pseudocode. For example, in this rough pseudocode, banana doesn't need to be created if apple. I would like to find or write create if it doesn't yet exist, an ESLint rule to enforce. Not making values until they are needed. So like in this example, if apple return true. This isn't a great example. Yeah. This isn't a great example for readability. And I'm sure there's nuance around here that I'm not getting or thinking of. If this rule does exist, it might, even if this rule does exist, it might be too opinionated. Let's try it out. So I'm going to say accepting PRs. Kevin, Been a bit. Hello, welcome. How's it going? Thanks for hopping on. How you doing? Just filed a little issue for a lint rule, taking a break from brief break from typescript-eslint PR reviews. Total tangent. Finally remembering to file an issue to track finding a lint rule around not creating values before they're needed. Definitely a nuanced rule, probably hard to write. Yeah, and it probably needs like scope analysis shenanigans in there. Thanks for hanging out. Oh wait, you said this. Loigi, yes. Loigi. Well. Side, I filed an issue on myself to find a lint rule to enforce this. Oops. Meant to just copy and paste the URL. Happy New Year indeed. Does anyone have any resolutions? I know people joke about resolutions like with a little snide intent sometimes, but I disagree with that. I think the idea of having any kind of New Year's resolution, or just even more broadly trying to improve yourself, is a wonderful thing. So my resolutions are eating healthier, going to the gym 3 times a week, and being more upfront, honest, and open with the people important to me. Because I'm not good at that. Any of those things. But all right. Let's continue going back through all threads. Oh yeah, no other rule does this. Where is it? Right, they previously said const program equals services.program. Now they say just const services equals parser services. Yeah, that's right, because no other rule ever does like this kind of stored in a temp variable. Ooh. Syncing configuration between repos. Yes, for sure. I was just looking. I don't know if this is a coincidence in timing or you actually were watching the discussions or what, but yes, definitely. I filed. Oh, let me pin this. I meant to pin it. Documentation, long-term project vision, which references right here. I want to be able to have like a snapshot. It's actually done in the end-to-end tests for this repo, so I'm just turning that into a feature. I want to be able to have a snapshot of like, these are the changes to a repo that will be done like after running the CTA migrates or sync command. So that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely +1. That's been a constant pain point for me. A bunch of people brought it up. I agree. That would be really nice. All right. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Is built-in symbol like? So previously they had this file called is built-in symbol like that had a function is built-in symbol like and had some things around it. Like is error like, and then I see from my comment rename it to built-in symbol likes. I think that's a good rename. Let's see. And they had an issue in the docs. Prefer promise reject errors .md 59. Try. They mentioned try. Right, which is like any or known. So let me just make sure. Prefer promise reject errors test ts. Tests the cases of unknown and any. Or at the very least any. Do we need a test unknown? I think we should test unknown. 5 foo. Ooh, and okay, yeah, they previously filed an issue. saying that, hey, examples under correct header don't contain any errors would be a good test. Yes. So I'm going to say under the tests, there should be a test for unknown. Yeah. Testing. Sorry for the late request, just realized. Unknown and never. A couple missing cases. Yeah, so never is just always tricky. Never, unknown. Ooh, error array. An array of array, error, array, read only, error, a tuple. Yeah. Null, Boolean ends. Yeah, the tests are pretty good. Just a few things missing here and there. Foo, star, eagles. The funny shenanigans you're allowed to do in code. Okay. Oh yeah, we try to avoid using words like guarantee. Instead, like enforce. Like guarantee, it's not really a guarantee. Ooh, what happened with TJ in the comments? Whoa. Okay, so in another rule around thenables, TJ stretch a lot. That's a great name. Stretch a lot. Cool. I'll get to this in the other PR. Class foo extends. That's a great test case. I wouldn't have thought of that. Nice. All right. So, yeah, it looks like all the comments since my previous review are good to go. Ooh, it's a little too zoomed in. So yeah, let me just skim through the code again and then request changes. I do hate requesting changes after previously approving, but I missed something. Mea culpa. I just feel bad. So they've got all the messages. All the options, arguments, attributes, properties, returns, variables. Unitary expression, that's not a bang. Check conditional. And so we have conditional checks. Parse checks void return. Right, depending on the option for whether you should check void returns. Yeah, fun. Then, so what they're doing here is they're building up the rule listeners based on your arguments. I don't love modifying parameters, but we don't have a lint rule against it, so I'm not going to say anything. So when we check a test conditional, if it has a test, then we call check conditional. Oh, just noticed this. What? Am I in an older version of the branch or something? Why am I not? I'm looking up is test x. Oh my god, I'm in the wrong file. Okay, here we go. I thought that was a lot of messages. All right, so here we go. Prefer, promise, reject errors. My gosh. So when we see a call expression and when we see a new expression, we get the callee. If it's not a member, return. Then we check whether it's a promise like, or is like promise. And then we check reject call. So at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're filtering out things and then checking the reject call if it's one we should reject or we should check. So if the argument either doesn't exist and you allow empty rejects or is an error like, we give the message ID, or sorry, it's not an error like, we give the message ID reject an error, which says expected the promise rejection reason to be an error. I wish you could do infer the keyword here. type missing does not satisfy the constraint. String, huh? That's a weird error. Okay. All right. So, yep, this looks good. Sorry, 2 blocking requests. The variable readability change actually introduced a performance regression. Let me know if the suggestion doesn't make sense. Sorry, I missed a, I don't like saying the same word twice. Sorry, apologies, I missed a couple of missed commenting on a couple of missing test cases. Since I already approved, I do feel bad now requesting changes. If you don't have energy, time, no worries. I can apply these soon. Yep. Always make sure people have a good experience contributing. It's very important. You don't want to be a jerk to them. Especially when you made a mistake, like forgetting to flag for something. All right, well, that one's done. That was a long review. Moving on in the queue. Style shit. No array delete, add new rule. Down to 13. It's 11:43 my time. I'm hungry. I've been streaming for a little over an hour, so I think I'm going to go till noon. So 17 more minutes. And we have 13 open PRs, so as long as I can review a PR every minute, so maybe a little bit of wiggle room, I'll be fine. Not going to happen. But okay. By the way, since it's been a while, I should mention, feel free to ask any questions on the stuff I'm doing, development in general, open source, yada yada, life. Always happy to chat. Let me know if anything I'm doing doesn't make sense, please. Moving on to reviewing another feature add on no array. What was it? No array deletes. Actually, wait. Let me just make sure. Okay, they did request review 5 days ago. From Style Shit's on Twitter, I think. Yeah. This is Style Shit. Yep. Okay. Got a few comments here, not as many as the last one. Oh, mentioning CI failing. Yeah, I think it's the same ones as before. Yep, same ones. Yep. CI failures are fixed on main. Sorry about that. All right, so let's check out the PR locally. Pull yarn start. All right, so they had, so the point of the rule no array delete is it's actually fairly straightforward. Don't use the delete operator on an array values because that's unsafe. You should probably use splice instead. Previously originally, I think if I remember right, they'd had it as a suggestion. Then at some point it was changed to a fix. Now it's changed back to a suggestion. To recap, ESLint has 2 ways that rules can suggest changing code, or ESLint suggest fix. One is a fix, which is something that can be done with -- fix. It's an automatic. And the other is a suggestion, which won't be done automatically. And you can have multiple suggestions. No errors will occur if the code isn't changed, but for the suggestion might be on how to fix it. Oh wait, no, that's the metadata suggestion. Providing suggestions, yeah. So suggestions are not fixes, but they're not necessarily safe, but they're things we'd suggest you do. For example, using array.splice instead of the delete operator is generally better practice, but it does behave differently. So your mileage may vary, as they say. The rule is fairly straightforward. Whenever we see a unary expression, so delete something, or like a similar, there's one operator being done, we check if it's as long as it make sure it's being done on a member, so like my array of 0, get the type, make sure that the type's an array type, and then since it was an array type that you're deleting a member of, reports where the fix seems like they're redundantly checking if the node argument type is a member expression, but this is actually unnecessary. So the reason why this check is, you too, Demian, thanks for hanging out. The reason why this check is happening is because TypeScript removes type narrowing inside closures. Like previously, TypeScript, because of line 54 is a statement, this one, it knows that in this code, node.argument is a member expression, which is either computed or non-computed names. But here, because this is some random other function, it doesn't know whether this will be called at any point in time, it removes the type narrowing. It says, okay, at this point, we don't know whether it's still a member expression. And in fact, there was actually a pull request to TypeScript from Anders. Let me see if I can find it. Preserved type refinements and closures created past last assignment. Aha. So this PR to TypeScript that Anders sent, and it has not yet been merged, let alone released to us, will actually preserve type refinement or narrowing. This pull request says, aha, we see in this case, node argument type is a member expression when we create this function, and nothing ever changes node argument type. So actually, wait, this might not change it because node is an argument. Okay, so actually, I think this PR probably wouldn't fix this. Either way, we shouldn't have to do this. So yeah, I'm gonna either way. Clean up. I can see why this code helps. Node.argument loses its type refinement narrowing inside this closure, but it's a duplicate statement that shouldn't be necessary. Instead, how about, I think a cleaner approach would be to store node.argument in a variable. Then we wouldn't have to worry about its type being misunderstood by TypeScript later on. I haven't looked deeply into this to see whether it would apply to a property of a parameter. Aside. Yeah. So just a little cleanup there. What I would do here is say like const argument equals node, and then if argument.type. Like I would do that. So the argument gets preserved. Cool. That's like a small cleanliness thing though. Like if this is the only one, then I would just do it myself because I don't want to block on such a small thing. Let's see what other comments there are here. Oh, Style Shade asking. So I requested more test cases. Oh yeah, comment positions. Oh yeah. So this for the suggestion, how it needs to work well with comments, which are very annoying to deal with. Parentheses, see get wrapping fixture and where it's used. These can be surprisingly tricky. Please enjoy this hellish block of code. What should we do about the comments in this case? Great question. I'd say as long as they don't get deleted and are generally preserved. I guess that's redundant. As long as they generally are preserved in somewhat near the original location, it's fine. For the hellish code before, it's okay if gotcha is before. Wait, what was? Yeah, it's fine. Trying to map user intent from comments to AST nodes is a nigh impossible task. Yeah, so as long as they exist, it's fine. In which cases is get wrapping fixture? I mean, it's not necessary for the above cases, and the code currently works with cases like delete. So when is it being used? What is get wrapping fixture? So I suggested using this utility that someone else had written a bit back. Get wrapping fixture, which wraps a node with some code if necessary. For example, prefer regular expression exec. So the difficulty is when you have like parentheses. Let's see an example. Like we want to go from something.match thing to thing.exec. When do you need it? I don't even remember at this point why you need this thing. But I do know that I previously complained about it, or like complained about things that were fixed by using it, like reported bugs. So get wrapping fixer. Let's see. Let's see if I mentioned it in a PR. Wrap. Aha, here's an example of a PR that mentions it. So consistent type assertions, wrap object return value with parentheses. Get wrapping fixer. When do they actually use this? Okay. So they added tests for, but they never actually used get wrapping fixer. What? Does it already use it? Consistent type assertions.ts. Never actually uses get wrapping. So they just added unit tests for this thing. Oh, they were adding in more precedents. Okay, so they were adding in utilities to this. They were just coincidentally touching it. All right. No unnecessarily really little compare. Let's look at this one from Armado. Get wrapping fixer is, again, is strong precedence node. So they're just using a utility here. But this is an interesting reference. So the bug here was, it was around X instance of, right. So they were checking if they need to add parentheses in this fixed case, which is true, they do. Previously, the rule didn't know to add parentheses before an instance of expression. Cool. All right, so that's a good reference. I'll keep that on this side. Member accessibility. I don't know why this would use get wrapping fixer. It's just mentioned in the code cover report. Fix record mode fixer for generics with default value, inconsistent index object style. Does this do it? Nope. Love it. I love giving a suggestion and then not knowing later on why the heck you would use the thing. Yeah, so I'll just say that this is a good reference. So, in which cases the get wrapping fixer is necessary? Good question. I'm not sure anymore. It's a generally useful utility, but if this rule doesn't come across, Danny, hello. I'm doing well. I'm reviewing PRs in typescript-eslint, and I'm happy. How are you doing? Happy New Year. For some edge cases, but if the rule doesn't come across any of those edge cases, then it's fine to not use it, I suppose. It's a good example of a fix using it. Oh, I forgot to pin the current thing I'm looking at in the chat. Pinned. All right. So they were asking why you'd use get wrapping fixer. I wonder if you can delete with a parentheses. Yeah, that seems to work. Can you do like declare const abc string main? Can you do like delete abc 0? Is that allowed? Right, what it can't be called delete abc 0. Let's see, can I duplicate that test case? abc dot splice 0 1. Oh, video froze again. Thanks for saying. It's an OBS bug. I think I keep forgetting to update OBS. That might be the issue. Should be fixed now. Let me know if not. You're working on Tailwind class sorting for biome. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah. Yeah. Competitors, neighbors, whatever you want to call us. I think it's fun. I like seeing, people working on things in the ecosystem together. Like separately and together. Like I think it's good to have competition. Yeah, I've got a blog post on my personal blog that I need to get to some comments on, like comparing and contrasting like native speed linters versus typescript-eslint and eslint. It's good stuff. Yarn just no array deletes. Watch. Ooh, does this fail? And oh, it removes the parentheses. This is fine. Gotcha. Let me see what happens here. If I have this gotcha. Aha! Aha! Yeah. Friendly collaborative. Everyone wins. Testing. Found a buggy. Actually, what did I comment about comments? This same thread. Okay. Found this. Okay. So, here, another example of a comment failure right now. Delete ABC, gotcha. Gets suggested to ABC dot splice 0, 1. When you say Tailwind class sorting, so like I never really relate to this. People have this kind of recommended or personal preference Tailwind class sort order. I always just go with alphabetical whenever I can. A lot simpler. You don't have to remember each tool's random preferences. My personal ideology is I just wish everyone did alphabetical. What do you think? Is that anti anything you like? Oh man. This is the second time this happened this week. First to today's string. Smart detection thinks you're spamming. Ha ha ha. Oh, same as the output. Oh, that's actually interesting. That actually does matter. Yeah, I can see that. That would be reasonable. I allowed the message. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah. If only everything could be alphabetical. Alas, it cannot always be. All right, so this weird case. So A equals 23, delete A, void 1, A dot splice, void 1. Oh, interesting. That gets TypeScript complaints. This gets TypeScript complaints. So it's going to be a pretty rare case for users to hit. Since it's a suggestion, yes, I'm fine with it. I think it's fine. Plus the void operator is already pretty rarely used. All right, so I've found a bug in their code, which is that they don't preserve this comment. What happens? So what happens if we do ABC with the gotcha in front of it? Comment failures right now of comments that get erased right now. So just say that. Yep. Oh wait, do I need to get pull? I might have done a silly. Wait. Let me preserve what I'm doing. Get pull. Did they update this branch while I'm commenting on it? Yeah, okay. So let's start the chests. Yes, so they're at least gotcha before and gotcha after. Fail. Like this should be suggested to include the gotcha string. Let's try gotcha with the inside. So there are definitely some failures here. So just gonna post those for reference. Do you have any gotcha strings in their tests? No, I'm the only one. Maybe they didn't push or didn't include tests yet, so maybe they just have a question that I haven't answered somewhere else. Ooh, I double... Whoa. I double commented. Okay. weird. All right, must have copy and paste onto myself. Okay. It's so weird. I feel like I must be missing something. They say they added comments into their test cases, but I don't see. I haven't found them yet. Load diff. Comments. Ah, here we go. Oh, I see. So they added multi-line comments. Okay, so I don't actually need to comment on these things. So, just confirming we're on the same page. I'm thinking suggestions should preserve comments. Right now it looks like the comments are being erased. Well, I can be more clear. Right now the comments are being erased. It looks like it's such an unnecessary phrase, and such a large percentage of the time it's used. Cool. So yeah, requesting changes. So it's looking good. Progress. Request changes. Yay! Done with that one for now. All right, it's 12:08. I've gone over the time I wanted to. I got energy. I'll look at one more PR and then I'll find someone to raid. So someone make a suggestion, or if there's anyone you think in particular I should raid. Also, if there are any things y'all want to talk about, now would be a good time to bring it up, because I'm gonna stop streaming soon. My God. Oh, I forgot to add the label. It's like, wait, it's the same number of PRs. Minus label awaiting response. Refresh. Okay. Naming conventions support the auto accessor syntax. Ugh, I hate looking at naming convention ones. Adds a thing in the accessor. Okay. So looks like this needs review, and I will switching over to a naming convention feature add. Don't recognize this person. First time contributor. Arca, thank you for contributing. Any Twitter link? Whoa. Okay. Oh, cool. They're in a university. Awesome that they're doing these things. No Twitter link. Yep. Whoops. All right, what's happening? Naming conventions support the auto accessor syntax. Boop. So TypeScript added support for the JavaScript language feature. There's an accessor you can do now. I don't even remember. What is an accessor? JS accessor, TC39. Oh, no, that's a new thing. Sweet Jesus. TypeScript. I'm just going to look for the TypeScript. Oftentimes, the TypeScript release notes are better than the TC39 ones. All right, accessor. All right, so this is an ECMAScript feature called accessors, which is declaring it like a property in a class, but that turns them into a get and set with a private member of a similar name, which means that I remember this now. So this doesn't actually change anything typically for most uses, but it means that it's easier for other language filters to be on top of it, built on top of this. So like if you need to override the get and or set, it makes it a little easier. So actually it makes it doable. So yeah, this is like a utility feature, and I don't know why this person came across a need to use the accessor with naming convention. But you know what? People write code. Yeah. So the rule already, it seems, has support for accessor. You can tell it. I'm like, I don't give a shit about this. I really wish we didn't have this rule. I wish someone else took care of it. So the existing individual selector for accessor matches modifiers. So like abstract, override, protected public, and so on. So this is suggesting to add it to the docs. There will need to be a corresponding mention of accessors in naming. What's the MD? Just get the relative path. That docs page explicitly says what's on each list of accessors. What's under each of the rules selectors. So now I'm like, do we really want this? Okay, so looking at the rule, let's GHPR checkout 8084 get pull yarn naming convention 521. So they're saying any property that's not computed that has kind equals get, kind equals set, or now we also add accessor property. Yeah, the way this rule is set up, we don't need to go into it now. I don't remember the details, but yeah, basically it's you have a bunch of selectors mapped to validator, which is like whether this will be included in the rule based on the options, and the handler, if it is included, what to do with it. Get out of here, get lens. So the rule also does a thing that I don't like, which is auto-generated classes. Sorry, auto-generated tests. Auto-generated tests. So accessor, which creates test cases. So the nice thing about these is that it's actually fairly straightforward to add. Here's the different test cases, and then I think we can infer that the percentage sign is there. So if I go to localhost 3000, I'm going to have to restart my yarn start. I can just make sure the rule works as expected. I can tell you don't need to ping people, even though it was open for a week. We take a while sometimes. This was sent over December. Rules, naming, convention. Come on, local dev server, do your magic. So I always, just to be sure, rerun yarn install and yarn build before starting the dev server. So this is not a docusource perf issue. This is a me perf issue. Performance. All right. So yeah, this rule is a hellish complicated list of shenanigans. So let's get this as an example and open the rule in the playground. Ooh. Let's just copy paste that. All right, so selector, accessor, I don't care about the modifiers. And let's say you do need to leading underscore require it. So class example, accessor, value equals 3. Accessor name must have one leading underscores. value. See if it's complaining about all caps. Camel case, much mass camel case. Okay. Hooray. Gotcha. Ha! Bug in the camel case. And then this should complain about not being camel case. Yep, yep. All right, that's good. So, yep, seems to work. God, I hate this world. It's such a convoluted thing to have to maintain. Functionally looks great. Thanks. Nice and straightforward. Just requesting changes to get it documented to every selector option should be no need to ping individuals for review. We have a queue and we get to things when we can. Yep. All right. Well, 12:18 my time. Time to go make myself lunch. This was a fun stream. Thanks y'all for hanging out. I see I'm down to 4 viewers. I think I was at like 15 or something at peak. Amusing. See, y'all also hate the naming selector rule. But yeah, let's see who to raid. I see Graham is streaming, so let's go over to Graham. One last bit. Josh, I forget if I have a stream elements. Yes, so just to recap, hi everyone, I'm Josh. I'm a full-time open source maintainer of the TypeScript ecosystem. You just saw me do a bunch of pull request reviews on typescript-eslint, one of the big projects in that ecosystem. And now let's go raid Graham. And oh yeah, don't forget, I have a thing tomorrow with Toby Solutions. We're gonna be going over million.js, so that'll be fun. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate the hearts. Yeah, it should be fun. So yeah, let's go raid Graham. If y'all ever want to talk about things, chat about open source, you can find me as Joshua K. Goldberg and all the things, including Twitch and Twitter and Blue Sky and Mastodon and .com and YouTube and GitHub.